Who's your real-life superhero? 27 years ago, my wife and I moved in next to a man who'd previously served 5 years for touching children. This was especially worrying, because we had a daughter who was 11. That's how our nightmare started. The first time I saw him, we were walking our daughter home from school. He stopped immediately when he saw her and waved at her. She innocently smiled back, and his face just lit up. He then looked at us, saying he was a babysitter and could watch her if we ever needed it. I immediately told my wife to go inside and I'd handle it, but she didn't. Instead, she got in his face. She told him she knows who he is, and said if he ever looks at her again, her face will be the last he ever sees. He didn't even have the guts to look her in the eye. Fast forward 7 months. We hadn't seen him since and thought we were safe. Until one day, our Lily didn't return from the apartment playground. I won't go into detail because it's too painful, but long story short, he got her. We found her ripped skirt in a bush nearby. We immediately called police, and a few hours later we saw him being escorted. During the 2 months that we waited for trial, my wife was more angry than sad. Not a day went by where she didn't talk about unaliving him. And so when court day came, she took advantage of how loose court security in our country was back then. When trial started, our neighbor was put on the stand, and that's when my wife stood up. She disregarded the judge telling her to sit, calmly